Welcome back to Chamber Exchange, the TV show. I want to thank our sponsors who helped make this show happen, Bank Hometown and St. Vincent Hospital. And with us on our second segment is Leah Larson, who's the Women's Initiative Director at the United Way of Central Massachusetts. And Leah, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, I think for our viewers, I want to do a little a plug for the United Way.
Yes.
And there's a special relationship between the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce and United Way of Central Mass, because I think it was 104 years ago at what was then known as the Worcester Board of Trade.
Yep.
Worcester Board of Trade business leaders came together to create the Worcester Community Chest.
Absolutely.
And the Worcester Board of Trade has morphed into, over time, to the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce, and the Worcester Community Chest is now at the United Way of Central Massachusetts. And people might not be totally familiar with United Way, but there's probably no organization in Worcester County and in Central Massachusetts that's able to financially assist lots of really good programs that are doing important stuff in the community. So, yeah. and United Way is funded through companies and individuals stepping up and making contributions, both large and small, sometimes having a little bit taken out of their pay each week,
yes.
and going to this community chest, which then works with groups and organizations to address issues in the community and strengthen the community. So if you're out there and thinking of year-end contributions and things you can do to have impact, the United Way is really one of the best.
It's 100% true. And when we talk about giving and the impact that your gift can have, the unique thing about the United Way, which also aligns with the Women's Initiative, is that it's donors from all walks of life. And like you said, it's major donors, but it's also those people who can give 50 cents a paycheck, $1 a paycheck, and that money gets pooled together into a larger fund and then distributed into the community to have real impact. And the number of people who are impacted by those dollars is, I would say, 90,000 people right here in Greater Worcester.
Right. And whether it's youth or women's issues or kids issues or health issues, or people, any organization that's in that space is probably getting some level of financial assistance from the United Way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Women's Initiative,
Yeah.
Of which you are the director of. Maybe you could give a little specifics about what that program's all about and some of the things that it does year-round.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, the Women's Initiative is a philanthropy group within the United Way, and it's a women's philanthropy group. So it's women who come together to pool their money for a specific reason. Their reason happens to be to reduce the risk of violence in young girls, and it was founded 22 years ago. We're celebrating our 22nd anniversary this year. And what they do is they pool their money together, similar to what the United Way does, except they're granting it out for programs that impact young girls ages 9 to 15 or in grades 4 through 8. And those programs do a variety of things. They teach them about financial literacy, conflict resolution, things that they can take into relationships, whether they're their personal relationships, their family relationships, or relationships that they have at school, and use those tools for a better and brighter future.
Yeah, and like we were talking in our first segment, there are determinants for healthcare outcomes, and one of those determinants is the food that people eat. Is it healthy, et cetera?
Yes.
Unfortunately, we have learned, through issues of domestic violence and stories like that there are determinants that can be identified very early on. If a young woman or girl is exposed to certain things at a young age, they are more likely, unfortunately, to become a victim of domestic violence or that type of thing. And so this program works on kind of addressing those and empowering women in different stages.
Yeah, so the Women's Initiative is unique because we grant money out for girls-only programming, yet we ourselves have a financial literacy program called Dollar Scholar, where we bring local women from the community into a setting with girls from Worcester, from towns outside of Worcester, to teach them about financial literacy, but also give them a sense of mentoring, that there are women in their community who care about them, that they can talk to, and that's the point of girls-only programming. Right. We understand that girls who are in a program that is girls only have the opportunity for mentorship. They feel more comfortable. They are able to talk about mental health in a setting, in their own mental health, in a setting that is safe for them. And so we've seen some positive impacts because it's girls only. And, the Women's Initiative is a believer in this program, and they continue to be for the last 22 years. It's why their mission has not changed.
Right. And Leah, you mentioned 22 years and running. If anything, you listen to the news, you read the newspapers, all this data and information coming out about the impact of social media, particularly on young girls and women. I mean, it is scary. And having that engagement and that time alone and kind of empowering them with information, it's probably more important than ever.
Absolutely. I mean, I myself have a daughter who's in 4th grade, and we do not allow her to have a cell phone, but we understand those impacts can have real consequences on the next generation. But it's also, we fund programs that, for example, teach them about being safe on social media. The Girl Scouts do a great program all about media. It's one of our funded programs, so that they're teaching it in real time. They are consistently updating that curriculum so that girls know what apps are safe, how to be safe on the internet, what information is okay to put out there, what's not to put out there. But it also teaches some parents as well, about certain apps and things like that in real time, because social media is constantly changing and evolving.
Yeah, and just so we're clear, some of these algorithms on these social media apps are particularly targeted to the vulnerabilities of young women, girls, and trying to get them addicted, or to it's just addicted to social media and some of the messages which can be self-destructive.
Yeah.
So if any parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, they need to be aware that some of those things are not healthy without being monitored and being supported, and again, reinforcing why a lot of what you're doing is so important.
Yeah, thank you. And I think it's important that girls can advocate and go to a mentor within a program or in their school to talk about what they're seeing on social media and what that is also having an effect on them.
Yeah. And the population that you're working with of young girls is 10 to 14 is kind of generally the area?
Yeah, so our RFP just changed last year, so it's 9 to 15. But we've also put in, because girls are experiencing things at a younger age, so it's actually 4th through 8th grade. We used to target specifically middle school girls, but we're realizing that by the time they get to middle school, they've already probably encountered some of these things that we were just speaking about. So we're trying to reach them at an earlier age so that they have some healthy habits or some things in place, or people who they can go to seek that mentorship.
And last year, 750 girls, 175 local women mentors,
Yes.
250,000 awarded into the community with grants to 11 programs, 10 organizations. But to keep that going, and we just have a couple minutes left, you've got some events coming up to help raise some money and awareness.
Yeah, we do. So on October 29th at Mechanics Hall, we have our Stepping Up for Girls event. This is an annual fundraising event, but it's also a celebration of the work that we do. We will have some young ladies from one of our funded programs do some singing for us. We have some young ladies from another program coming in to talk to some specific donors about what the program has meant to them. We'll hear from a couple other programs as well that evening. And then we give out some awards as well. So we give out some awards named after our founders, the Lois B. Green Leadership Award, and then the Meredith D. Wesby Young Leader Award, and these are awarded to women in our community who are making a true difference in the work that we're doing.
Got it. And can we say who they are?
Yes.
So, do you want to?
Yeah, sure. So the Lois B. Green Leadership Award is going to be awarded to 2 women in our community, Elizabeth Cruz, president of LABO, and Ella, which I believe you know very well.
LABO is one of our partner affiliates at the Chamber, the Latin American Business Organization.
Yes, and then Echo Lusan is our second awardee of that. She has started a girls-only program, which is cultural healthy eating Swimming Exercise Resource, otherwise known as CHEER. And then our Meredith D. Wesby Young Leader Award is going to Annabelle Santiago. She's a student at Worcester State University, and she will be graduating in December. She just so happens to be here with me today because she does work for the Women's
Annabelle
Initiative.
is on the set.
She is on the set. But she's fantastic, and all of these women are amazing leaders in our community and are so deserving of these awards.
So Leah, just to wrap it up, if someone wants to go online and learn more, where can they go?
Yeah, so they can go to the United Way website, but specifically for this event, they can go to give.classy, which is CLASSY.org/2024 SUFG, which is Stepping Up for Girls.
Got it.
Yeah.
Leah, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And we're going to come right back for our final segment.
These days, you've got your hands full in life. That's why we help you bank simply and securely with tools like Face ID and Touch ID. It's why we make it easy to make purchases on the go and get cash back while you're at it. Why we help you quickly deposit checks wherever you are. And it's why we lend a hand with sending and receiving money right from your phone. So even when you're on the move, you can manage your finances. Bank Hometown. Unlock your potential.